Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully designed our change password page. So right now I want to update it. So if you want to update it, if you go to our Laravel default authentication system and when you install it, we get this update password. That is actually the page, right? So this page, as I told you friend, if you go to our profile, that means that's actually created one of the profile folder, and to the profile folder you can see there is an update password. So that is the update password is now working. You can see there is only one day for the password, the new password, there is a password and there is a confirm password, and after that there is a save button. That means right now this portion actually working for our specific this page. So now I want to update it. Okay, so from here I take that concept and I want to apply it for our current portion. Like you can see there is one of the ID. So there is ID and the type, and then there is a class. So here we don't need this. Only I need this ID. So better I copy this ID. Now go to our change password. So our first field as a current password. So that is our input type is already on here as a password. So now I want to add one of the ID. So right now we don't need this. I change it and I paste it as a ID will be as a current password. And also I want to take another one. You can see there is a type as a password type, and also here ID type I have already added that type, and also I have already added that our ID. So that means this one. So perfect. So that's the two things will be needed. And also for our next one as a password, that is actually our current password, right? So now I name that our current ID. That means for this one I name it as a current password, and our type will be as a password. Perfect. And after that there is our new password, and for the new password I want to add another one. I want to add this type will be as a password type, and also you can see it's now also that have the ID as a password. So now I copy this ID, and now here I want to update this field ID. So here I paste it. Okay. So here I paste it. So better I want to add this on here. So that is actually input field type will be as a password, and also I add one of the ID as a password. And then or another one here you can see there is a type passwords is perfect, and then the another one is ID as a password confirmation, and the type will be as a password. So now I copy this ID. And now in our change password here, and that will be our ID. Our ID will be as a password confirmation, and type will be as a password, right? So that's all you have to do. And also you can add some of the name. So here there is actually they have no name for this one. So better I want to add one of the name. Like here for our this field I want to add one of the name. So that will be the name, and name will be for this one. For our first one it will be as a I name it as a old password. Okay, so that will be as a old password name. And also here for our new password I name this. So our this field name I name it as a password. Okay, so that will be as a password. And also I want to take another one for our confirmation password. I put one of the name, and I just put that name for this one as a password confirmation. Okay, I name it as a password confirmation. Perfect. So friend, so I updated two things. I updated that name, I updated that ID, I updated that name, I updated that ID, and also that is actually our ID and that is our name, right? So if you also want to add one of the validation, I have already discussed about that things with you friend, how can add some of the validation, that means the default validation. So if you want to add it, you can also add it. I want to add it as a @error, right? Remember, I hope I have already discussed about that things with you. Remember this name. So with this name you can actually add some of the validation. Okay. So with this name I want to add on the validation, and better I want to add on this pen. I want to add on the pen class, and also I want to finish that pen. So that will be as a finish pen, and here I want to add one of the class. And class will be as a text danger. Okay, that will be display this type of one of the error as a text gender and danger, and then here it will be display that message, right? That means that is actually our default all that code. So that will be display our this message. Perfect. So that means here if we get some of the validation, this will be display this validation, and also after that we have to AND it. That means the AND error, right? So that will be as a AND error. So now I also want to add it. I also want to add it for our new password. So here I name that field as a password, so it will be as a password, and then also I want to add it validation for our password confirmation, so that will be as a password confirmation. Perfect. So that's right now we are also add our validation, so that is our validation code, and that is our all that field, right? So now if you click as a save all, and first of all I check it, everything should be clear. You can see everything is now running. So now friend, I want to do here, I want to add that our current password, old new password, and the confirmation password. So if you put any wrong password right now, this user already logged in and this user already have some of the password, right? So that will be our current password. So it should be match it. So if it's not matched, then it should be display some of the error, rather than it should be display another validation error. Okay. So how can also our we have to add some of the validation for the new password, and the confirm password should be the same. So here also we have to add this type of one of the validation. So now we have to work in our form. So now go to our change password, and here you can see I have also add one of the button as a type, as a submit type. So that is our form. So into the form area, now I want to update this form. So into the form area we have to add one of the method, right? So that will be method. So that will be our method, and our method will be obviously as a post method, right friend? And also here I want to add some of the action. I want to add one of the action, and our action will be one of the route. So I want to add one of the route, and our route will be as a, right now I want to add one of the routes, I want to add one of the route for this one as a password update, right? So now we have to create our this route, right? So that means that is the route we have to create in our web route area. Now go to our web route, and also one things here also we have to add all the CSRF token. Without CSRF token it will be not save any data. So now I want to add that CSRF. Okay, so make that sure you add this CSRF token. So that is our post method. Now go to our web route. Here I want to copy it. I copy this route, and here I paste it. It will be as a post. So name it as a post. It will be as a post method, and user update or password update better actually, right? I want to make it as a password and then update, right? That will be as a password update one of the URL. And in our change password here I want to create one of the method, and our name will be, I have already created this route will be as a password update. I copy it, and now here I want to update it. That will be as a password update. So you can see that is actually the main format. Actually, step by step you just have to actually flow it, right? So now I want to create one of the method for this one, and our method will be as a password update password. I mean name it as update password. So now we have to create this update password method in our change password controller. Now go to our controller. That means that is actually our controller. So here I want to create one of the function, that means a method as a public, and then function, and then our update password method. So that is our update password method, right friends? So now we have to create it. So better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will create this method or the update password. That means here if you have to also add some of the validation. So how can add this validation? That will be the two type of validation. So how can add this validation? Now can complete this update password portion. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.